We're about to go live. What's up, everybody? Wakey, wakey, as my friend Mark Evans would say. Anyway, wanted to touch base with everybody. Had a lot of positive things happen over the last few days, and we're going to continue to roll right into the weekend with them. I wanted to talk to you real quick today about a lot of people are trying to, based on some of the responses I'm getting in my inbox, a lot of people are stuck in either a job they hate, a career they hate, or they're just not feeling like there's any other opportunities that are out there for them, and they're kind of just in this cycle of things they don't enjoy. So I want to explain to you a little bit about how to get out of that cycle of kind of like the hamster wheel. B, understand a little bit about why that hamster wheel exists, okay, or as we like to call it, the sheep. People that work a 9 to 5. No offense to it. A lot of people love it and they enjoy it, and if you do, great. It has this really doesn't have anything to do with you, but a lot of people don't, right? And then C, what type of career path or what type of anything really that you should look at and choose based on what you like and compensation. So let's just talk about being stuck, right? Nobody's stuck, right? That first and foremost, you're not stuck. A lot of people think they are. And what they don't realize is that everybody feels like they are at one point. It doesn't matter whether you're an employee or you're an entrepreneur. 5,000 a month, 50,000 a month, 500,000 a month. Stuck is stuck, right? So you're not, right? And a lot of people feel that way. This is America. This is the land of opportunity. Okay, at any given time, and specifically with the invention of the internet, it's very easy to connect with people in fields that you enjoy or you want to get into, and looking for maybe ways to connect with them and get in front of them. And the key thing with this, remember, is when you're new and you're trying to get into maybe a different industry, and there's things that you enjoy, and the way to kind of figure that out is, if money wasn't an object, what would you do for a living? What would you do with your daily routine? And that's usually a good indicator of what you actually were kind of meant to do. A lot of people are trying to get in the ears of other people the wrong way. How you get in the ear of the people the right way, of people you want to be like, is by offering your time up. Right now, it's not just a hard pitch, but it's basically, like, I really enjoy what you do. I've been looking to get into a similar field. Is there anything that you need help with? Right? Think of it like an adult internship, right? And what I want you to understand about that is the right people that want to connect with you, they'll be more than willing to offset some of the work that they just don't like doing in order to probably teach you. Now, it's not like it's this formal contract. It's just like, hey, look, I'm looking to get involved with something along these lines. I see that you're very professional and you're very successful in this field. Is there anything I can do right now to take some work off your back? And I'd be more than willing to do that with no expectation, right? So that's kind of how to get in front of those people. Most people do it the wrong way. It's just straight sale, hard pitch, hard pitch, hard pitch, and it doesn't work. So the second thing is understanding why you're at where you're at, right? Typically, and especially if you've went to school, a lot of times they're going to tell you to go out and get a job, right? And I don't care whether you're making 40,000 a year or you're making 150,000 a year. If you are working for somebody else, you will never be able to get ahead, okay? And the reason why is this: you are trading your time for money, right? And what do I mean by that? I mean that you are dedicating an hour of your life to somebody that's willing to pay you a specific dollar amount. It didn't take me long, right back in 2000 when I was welding, to figure out that, everybody around me that has financially either has freedom or the things I want, okay, and let's get over the money doesn't matter thing. It matters, okay. It will help. Right? I don't care what anybody says about that. Now, it's not everything, of course, but it will help. But if you're trading a dollar amount for an hour of your life, what you run into is this, right? There's only so many hours you can work. Have you ever heard of anybody getting ahead working overtime? No. All right. And it's not because you're not worth more. It's because it's what the market's dictating, right? If somebody, as a business owner, somebody's willing to do the same job or better for less money, that's the whole idea of being a business owner, paying somebody and getting more out of that dollar amount. Now, what I want you to understand is, like, if you go to a job fair and there's a line of people looking to become X, Y, and Z, somebody's always willing to do that job for less. Okay. And again, it's not nothing personal. It's just the way businesses operate. So you've never heard of someone working overtime and getting ahead, right? Typically, when you start working overtime, you rely on it because we tend to rise to the level of the income we're making. So overtime doesn't work, right? And then what about two jobs, right? A lot of people work. I did it. I mean, I did a lot. I was delivering pizzas, okay, for the most time. Even when I started becoming an entrepreneur, I was still doing that. And you never hear about people getting ahead by working two jobs. You're simply spending more time. Well, guess what you're going to run out of, okay? You are going to run out of time. So you can't keep down that route because that path is just not the path that you can go. Because you can always get incremental increases, and you can go back to school and increase your skill sets and possibly get a big jump. But at the end of the day, most people that I personally know that are employees, that it just doesn't work for them. All right. And there's a lot of frustration. So so just to kind of recap, the first thing, two things is: one, find out what you love, reach out to that person and try to do some extra work. Yep, it's good. Would you rather work at a second job, or would you rather work towards your dreams in your career, or something that you really want to do as far as building a business goes? I would much rather do that path. Work longer. If you're going to work longer hours, work towards something. Don't get caught up in just trying to trade time for money again. Right. So the third thing I want you to think about when you're considering kind of moving into a career, and for me, this is why I chose insurance. Okay, actually, insurance chose me. I don't want to say I chose insurance. No one goes, "Hey, I want to be an insurance guy." But back in 2001, I had the opportunity presented to me. I didn't know any better. All I knew was this, that there was residual income attached to it. Now, there's a lot of like spammy MLMers out there that talk about residual income. I'm not talking about that. There's a lot of careers in terms of opportunities. Okay, I keep saying career. What I really mean is opportunities to either run your own company, or represent a company's product and go out and sell it. And what you want to do is you want to find something that has a residual income, or sell more after something that you can repeat sale to an existing customer. Okay, why is that? Because the whole theory is this: if I do something once, I work an hour, I'm going to continually get paid for that hour I've worked for as long as that customer pays their bill, or as long as that client's a member of this company, or let's say you're selling, let's say you're out there marketing services to local businesses, generating leads or websites and things like that. Well, you generate the website once, right, and it's going to pay you, but every month they're going to need some sort of maintenance plan, they're going to need some sort of updating, they're going to need some sort of lead generation. So you've spent all the energy acquiring a customer, and now that customer is going to continue to pay you. All right. For residual income, all right, the reason why this works is if you do something once and you continually get paid, then it makes sense that you're leveraging your time. You're not trading your time for money. Okay, you're leveraging your time. You're not trading your time for money. And that's what's the most important thing, because when you do that, you won't run out of time. You'll continually get every year. All those existing sales will increase on top of whatever it is you're doing. Businesses owners have residual income, right? It's off their employees. It's a lot better for me to make $5 an hour off of work I'm not doing than to make $50 an hour for work I was doing. Okay, hypothetically, if you're kind of starting out, $50 an hour should be everybody's goal. I think it's roughly about $100,000 a year. But generating $100,000 a year as a business owner is much different, even when you just look at the tax bracket, right? You don't get taxed on your money, you write off and then you pay your taxes. Okay, it's much different. So again, you want to do something once and then get paid for it. A book, right? People write books. They write the book. They put a lot of time, effort, energy into writing a book, and then every time that book gets sold, whether they're sleeping, whether they're awake, they're getting a portion of the sale. Whether it's a quarter off every dollar or a quarter off every $5, doesn't matter. They're not doing any additional work for the money, right? An artist, right? An artist will produce a record once, or a song, and then it goes out there on the internet, right? And the song, every time it gets played, they get, a penny or half a penny, whatever the case is. But there's many, 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 many careers. For most people, I do recommend some sort of financial career or insurance career. And the reason why is it teaches you, it's not something you stay in forever, but it teaches you the hardest skills that you need to become an entrepreneur. Because to become an entrepreneur, you will have to think differently. Now, why do I say that? Because it's the truth, right? You can't go into becoming an entrepreneur with the same skill sets you had as becoming an employee. And that's typically why people fail. And I was telling my buddy Joe yesterday about, this kind of concept. But if you think about it, like, how many people do you know that were in high school that were great students? Even like the top people I graduated I think it was like 250 out of 282. And I don't even know if I did walk. But long story short, I basically had a lot of tests on the last day from a very friendly teacher that gave me the ability to graduate, and I'm proud of that. Okay, so so at the end of the day, what you got to remember is that you want to become an entrepreneur. You want to be able to do these types of things, and you want to be able to get into that mind frame where you're going to have to relearn skills, right? And why I say that is people get the impression, a lot of people, that once people make a ton of money, they no longer work. Well, that's the farthest thing from the truth. Okay, the farthest thing from the truth. Probably one of the most eye-opening things that's happened to me personally after putting about 13 years into a specific company and doing extremely well. I was blessed, knock on wood. I realized that no one was different that was working there, and all the products were the same price to the same market and I just realized that the only difference was me. And I put those two and two together, and it didn't happen right away, but man, once I caught on that, wow, I'm not getting paid for the time, I'm getting paid for the result. I kind of changed things, and I started reading the books, and I started, practicing those daily disciplines. The same mindset that got you into choosing a career is not the same mindset that's going to make you successful as a business owner. And back to the story of me graduating school, the reality of it was I wasn't gifted in that area, but the reality of it was that the valedictorian, and anyone usually in high school that does really well, the minute they go to college, sometimes they fail. And the reason why is in high school, there's a lot of structure, meaning like you don't show up to class, truant officer knocking at your door. Right? You go to college, you pay your tuition. There's no truant officer coming to get you, and typically people flake out. Well, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to learn how to create your own, schedule and honor that schedule. And that's just one of the things. And I can give you a million things that you're going to have to learn. But a lot of this, guys, is not rocket science. If it was, I wouldn't be here. And I'm not saying that in an egotistical sort of way. A lot of people say, well, if I can do it, you can do it. I can tell you that's absolutely true. I know a ton of people, lists miles long of people that are definitely not smarter than you are, definitely not gifted more than you are, definitely did not come from a better family, definitely did not come from a better background, but their willingness and their drive to succeed was just, they hit rock bottom. And for most people, that's what it takes. And there's nothing wrong with it. Some of you might be at that point where you're just like, hey, I'm about to hit rock bottom. Hitting rock bottom is probably one of the most positive things that's ever happened to me, because that's where people quit. And once you realize that you're just like a half inch away, and if you just push through that, that is what's going to springboard you, because there's nowhere else to go if you're bottom, but that's what's going to springboard you into entrepreneurship. But why it's important is once you are an entrepreneur, okay, you're going to have rock bottom. See, it doesn't go like this. It doesn't go like that. Everyone thinks that, right? Oh, yeah, it's going to go like this. No, it looks like this. Ready? Doink, doink, bam, boom, 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 boom. But the key is over time, it's going to keep going up. But you're going to have new rock bottom. So I put a lot of time in today and this morning with you, and I just wanted to let you know, how much I appreciate you. But most importantly, anything that you kind of want to learn about, just let me know in the comments or whatever the case is. And I'd be happy to address it. I'm always looking for new ideas and things to talk about. But other than that, guys, rock and roll. Have a great weekend. This is Adam Maggio. Make sure to connect with me on Instagram. All right, I'm over there, Adam Maggio INC, doing a lot of crazy stuff in the story section. You get a little bit of a look into what's going on. And, I appreciate you. So have a great day. If you're going to a job, don't sweat it. Just start to put things in place and kind of get out there. And what do you like to do? Reach out, offer help, and start, studying other entrepreneurs. You have YouTube. Every question in the world you need is already answered. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.